Hello lovely people, and welcome back to Cassie Love TV. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about brushing locks. Okay, I'm also going to address reasons why we should brush our locks, the benefits. So basically about 5 benefits why you should brush your locks. And I'm going to get into some other things at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stay till the end, okay, so you can get some other information. Okay, all right, so let's get into the video. Okay, so number 1 is, when should you start brushing your locks? Now if you're in the starter phase of your lock journey, you just start your lock journey and your locks are short, to be honest, there is no reason to start to brush your locks because you don't have any length going on. All you really need to do is make sure that you cover your locks at night. So I would say give your locks about 6 months, about 6 to 12 months, okay, before you start brushing. One of those reasons is because brushing may unravel your locks, and I know you're not looking to do that. So soft brushing, if you're gonna brush, do like just gentle soft brushing, okay? And again, that's in your starter lock phase. So I would say give it about 12 months before you really start to brush your locks. And again, if you are going to do it, just do it very gentle, okay? Now I know sometimes we put our hair into buns and ponytails, or maybe you're doing a style and you have to do a little brushing at your edges or something. That's different, right? Because you're not really brushing your entire head of locks. You're just brushing your edges, try to smooth some of your hair down. That's different, okay? So give it some time. Don't do too much too early, okay? Okay, so number 2 is, how often should you brush your locks? And I saw this particular question came up on a YouTube video that I was watching, and the young lady was saying that she don't want to really put the brush into her locks because, one of the reasons why she locked is so she wouldn't have to do these things to her locks. And someone else was saying, well, you don't have to brush your locks every day. Now, me personally think that you should brush your locks when you desire. If you want to brush your locks 2 days of the week, then brush your locks 2 days of the week. If you only want to brush your locks when you put your hair up into a ponytail, or you got to brush your hair in or your edges in, like I said before, then do that. We have to remember the reasons why we're doing these things. One of the reasons why I think it's beneficial to brush your lock is because it encourages hair growth. It also stimulates your scalp as well if you're brushing from the root come down. Now, just to tell you guys a little bit about me and my brushing. So I started brushing my locks about a year ago. It's been over a year. I don't remember which video I did, and I talked about this, where I told you guys that I was going to, experience brushing my locks first before talking about it. Okay, so the only time that I used to really use the brush on my locks is if I'm putting my hair into a ponytail and I'm trying to brush in my edges. Like I was saying before, that was the only time that you would see me put a brush in my lock. And about a year and a couple months ago, I started to use the brush on my locks consistently. Now, I do not brush my locks every single day, okay? If I'm thinking maybe 3 times out the week, maybe. It just all depends. But I don't brush because I don't have a need to brush it every day. If I don't have to put my hands in my locks, best believe I'm not going to. If I wake up, if I moisturize my locks overnight, just a little, tie my locks down into the style that I already desire for the morning to go to work, I take the scarf off of my head, best believe I'm walking out the door in my work clothes and I'm good to go. Listen, we don't have to do these things. Like, nothing needs to get done excessively. It's really to your desire and how comfortable you are with it, okay? Next is, when is a really good time to brush our locks? Like, is there a time that we're supposed to be brushing it, right? So I think you should start brushing your locks after you probably wore a sweater, right? Or maybe you lay in a woolly blanket, or a blanket full of furs, or a pillowcase that's full of stuff and it gets into your locks. That is a really good time to brush because you are brushing out those unnecessary length that your locks was exposed to. And that is very important to get them out right away and not wait. So you will lift your locks and you will start to brush your locks and start to brush them off of your locks, right? And actually, I think that's a whole lot better than using a pick or whatever we call it to pick out the stuff out of your locks. Okay, so this is a sweater that I've worn recently. I'm going to show you guys a prime example of how lint get into our locks. Do you see that? You can actually see the lint on this sweater. The stuff on this. See that? See this? Yeah. So when I wear this, my hair has to be up, all the way up here. And because I know how this sweater is, I wouldn't just wear this and have my locks on it. Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, my locks, everything from this sweater is going to transfer onto my locks. Okay, guys. So another really good time to brush your locks is before wash day. So reason being is because you're about to wash your locks. It's good to brush out any excessive lint that's sitting on the surface of your locks. And sometimes, honestly, we don't even know they're there. Yeah. So just imagine you start to section out your locks and start to brush your locks. And you're going to realize that in the back, because that's where they sit the most, is in the back for some reason. They just capture in the back and just sits there. So just imagine, right? On wash day, you part your hair out in 4 sections, whatever. And you just start to brush your locks out and you're going to see what I'm saying. You're probably going to find something like, oh my goodness. You're also going to realize that the brush itself, and I have a brush right here too. The brush, these little things right here, they will attach to your locks, especially on my 4C here, and they will literally jog them out. And you're not brushing hard, you're just barely brushing them out of your locks, okay, like that. And so it's really good to also brush your locks before wash day. Okay, guys, so next is brushing your locks actually prevent matting. And I'm speaking from experience from this one. Now, remember I told you guys I retwist my locks every couple months. I don't retwist every month unless I have somewhere to go or somewhere where I need my locks to look a certain way. Aside from that, I don't really retwist often. Let me tell you something. When you are in between your retwist and say you're going 2 months, I don't know, and your locks start to merge and combined, separate them and use the brush and brush your locks. I'm telling you, it works wonders. That is one of the biggest reasons why I use the brush in my locks as well, especially after washing my locks. Just ensure that the brush is clean, and I'm going to talk about clean brush at the end of the video. But if you're going in between retwists and your locks is starting to merge and you're trying to separate your locks, brushing instead of dragging your locks out or use your hand to try to separate it, sometimes the brush alone will help to put your locks in place. I'm telling you, it works for me. It really does. And I didn't even, honestly didn't thought it was going to work until I did it. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I'm going to keep doing this. And that's one of the reasons why I keep doing it. So yes, use the brush, okay? Use the brush. And it definitely helps separating your locks, okay? Okay, guys, so next is brushing your locks definitely enhance your lock appearance. Hence the reason why some people use it only when they're putting their hair into a ponytail or a bun or some kind of up style, right? And actually, some locticians use the brush when they are doing your retwist. So that's another reason to use it. If you want to tame your frizz on your locks, some people don't like the frizz. I'm okay with the frizz. Or, tame the flyaway, stuff like that. It just enhances the appearance of your locks. It makes your locks so much neater. Okay, so I told you guys at the end of the video I have 2 little bonus to go over with you. So 2 bonus is, the first one is, what type of brush should you be using to brush your locks? You do not want to use a brush that is too hard, okay? It has to be a more soft, brittle brush. Another thing is, make sure that you are the only one that is using your brush, okay? What that means is, you may live with other people, right? And they may use your brush. Now, one of the most important thing here is that, again, the brush is to help eliminate lint from your locks. So you have to look inside of the brush. You have to wash your brush regular, okay, with soap. Okay, so because you don't want to be putting lint in your locks, okay? So be very mindful of that. So I would say every time you use it, wash it or put it up somewhere where you know you're the only one who know where it is and you're the only one who's using it. For instance, my daughter share certain stuff with me, and she's quick to use my stuff in her hair, and then she put it down everywhere. So I have to make sure that before I brush my locks, the brush is clean, and it's easy to wash a brush. And also you can wash the brush and use it right away. You don't have to wait for it to dry. And technically, if the brush is wet, that puts moisture back into your locks as well. So it really has some good benefits to it. And I've done that. And actually, even when there's nothing inside of my brush, I still feel like I need to wash my brush with shampoo. Another thing is you can brush your locks on wet or dry hair. You don't have to always brush it on dry hair. If you just wash your locks, you want to brush it again to tame it, or you just want to brush your locks, maybe you're putting it up into a style, then you can do so. So you can brush your locks on wet hair as well. I think one of the most important thing is to make sure that you are being gentle with your locks, okay? How to brush your locks. I think everybody knows this, but I'll still just let you guys know how I brush my locks. Normally I start from the root, come all the way down, okay, to the ends of my locks. Now you can also divide your locks in section. You can also do this when you're doing your moisture on, your locks, when you're doing moisture day. Maybe you want to just brush everything in on that day. So there's different ways that you can brush it. You can brush it at night before you go to bed, right? You can brush it in the morning when you wake up. You can brush it when you're styling it. There's different times that you can brush it. Me personally love to brush it in sections, and also when I'm styling my locks. And also, of course, to make sure, again, to remove any lint that I may have or see in my locks. Because it's not just sweaters and blankets. I don't know. I feel like sometimes or my lock personally just like to capture stuff. Sometimes I look in my locks and there's stuff in there. And I'm like, where did this come from? You know what I mean? And so at that point, I just go ahead and brush my lock. Maybe you're outside and the wind just blow hard and stuff blew in our hair. Like, it could be anything. Maybe you sit under a tree. Listen, there is so much different things that can come into our locks. Like, yeah. Okay, so that is it for the video, guys. So overall, brushing your locks can keep your locks very healthy and strong. It is okay to brush your locks every now and then. I am doing it right now to my locks, and it has not done any damage to my locks at all. If anything, I feel like my locks is growing more. I feel like my locks, it definitely benefits my locks. It tames my locks sometimes when I need to, and I put my hair into a style. So there is nothing wrong with brushing your locks, okay? Alright, so that is it for this video. I don't know, I feel like the video was long, but I feel like it wasn't too long. I don't know, I'll see when I edit this video, but I'm trying to make the videos too long because I know that we have a short spam now these days. Please remember to subscribe. I know sometimes I don't say that too often, but believe me, subscribe to my channel if you're watching this video. Like the video as well. Comment down below, okay? Comment down below. Let's start a conversation. I'm gonna keep saying until we start to do it, okay? Start a conversation. Let's discuss this. Do you brush your locks? And if you do, why? Okay? So yes, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Bye. See you when I see you. I miss you already.